Hey, what is up everybody? How's it going? This is Furgie here, back with another Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited video. And today we are going to be doing an update on our Dragonknight build, and this is otherwise known as the Pyromancer or the Fire Mage build. Now, we are level 20, 10 levels higher than last time, of course, and a lot of things have happened since then. The build has started to come into shape a little more. We've gotten rid of some of the moves we don't really need. I've crafted some pretty good gear here that I'm using, and basically we'll just go through the same thing that we did last time, and I'll show everyone exactly what is up and what's going on. Now, a few things have changed since the last time we've met. A few of the moves have stayed the same, or I've simply morphed them, but a couple have been added. Also, I've gotten quite a few new passes and changed a few ways how the build plays. However, it still has the same basic idea of staying ranged, keeping people away from you, and CCing them to allow them to stay a ways away so they can't melee you. I have put a few more points into health now, so we are not quite as squishy. It can still be a bit of a problem at times, but I'll get into that here in a minute. Just another thing that I'm going to say is this build is just for leveling right now, and eventually I will focus on the weapon swap and have one weapon be for, well, they'll still both be a fire staff, but one will be for AoE and one will be for single target like bosses and things like that. But for now, we've kind of got them both encompassed together, and it really makes for a good leveling build. I haven't had much trouble. I'm really not dying too much either. I can't say I've died more than 5 times throughout this new area I've been in. So really, it's a pretty good deal, and let's just jump right into it, and I'll show you guys what's up. First things first, let's take a look at our attributes in the character page here. Now, as you can see, I have 17 attribute points into Magicka and 2 into health. I actually put all 17 into Magicka, and then I started dying a few times, so I decided that a little extra health could not hurt. This is really not a big deal, and I'll probably end up having about 5 or 6 points into health at the end, because it's just going to be better. I'm not going to die near as much. It can really become a problem in dungeons if you're not careful. If your tank loses aggro or something, you can be one hit by certain bosses or certain mobs. So I think a few points into health is important if you're focusing on this build. Of course, you can do more or less, whatever feels right for you, but this is what I'm looking with. As you can see, we have quite a bit of Magicka right now. It's working out for me. I really don't run out that often. As long as I'm running the rotation correctly, it works out pretty well for me. The health is a little bit higher, and stamina is really not a big deal for me. All I need to do is run and usually roll dodge. As you may have noticed, I didn't say anything about spell critical or anything like that yet, because although my gear has improved, I really don't have too much of that yet either. I'm still in the kind of the awkward phase of working on research, working on getting enough materials to craft good sets and things like that. So still, some drops are very good for me depending on what I find, but currently I've got a really nice level 20 set that's pretty well made, so I'll show all that off to you guys right now. First off, we've got the Inferno Staff of Flame. Same deal, I've got it enchanted with charge now, so it just makes the enchant that much more powerful, a lot more flame damage. It's a pretty good build, it's a pretty good setup, and I like this staff quite a bit already. Now, for the rest of my gear, it pretty much follows the same pattern as last time. We've got light armor enchanted with Magicka. Some of it I've got improved up to fine quality, some of it I've got fine quality enchants, but almost all of them have this infused trait on them, and this is just going to help out the armor enchant and give me that much more Magicka. Honestly, you could add health to 1 or 2 pieces of this gear, and if you really find yourself dying more, you could do that, and that would help out, but really, it's not a big deal to me right now, so that's why I'm working with this. I'm not too worried about making everything fine quality yet. I'll probably focus on that maybe at level 25 or 30, but for now this set works really well. It's still a decent amount of armor for the current level that I'm at, and it's working out pretty well for me. Now, all the way down below, my jewelry is still lacking a little bit. Jewelry is hard to come by, especially in the early parts of the game. I've got this necklace on, the Sigil of House Drez, and it gives me some Magicka recovery, maximum Magicka. It's pretty good. My next one is still level 8, so you saw this last time. More maximum Magicka and more recovery. Same deal, same thing, pretty good. And lastly, we've got a really good ring I just got from a Harbridge story quest, which reduces my Magicka cost of spells by 69. That's great, and a lot of maximum Magicka. So this ring is really good. And honestly, if all my jewelry could be like that, it would be great. But it's hard to come by at first, so I'm not too worried about it. Other than that, the gear setup is going pretty well right now. It's working out pretty well for me. I'm just using the Breton motif still. I haven't gotten any others, and it looks pretty cool. I like how Breton looks, and this is what we're working with. I just got it dyed like white and red. So now let's jump right into the skills and the main part of this build, the reason you guys are here. Alright everybody, so let's take a look at this. As I said last time, we're mostly dealing with Ardent Flame and Draconic Power, but now we are looking into a little bit of Earthen Heart as well. I'll talk about here in a little bit. Still a lot of points in a Destruction Staff, of course, that's our main weapon of choice. Light Armor as usual. Racial Passives, if you're worried about that, I am a Breton, so I'm very good with magic and things like that. And then of course, lots of points into crafting and things like that if you're more oriented towards crafting your own gear, your own enchants, etc. So first of all, let's take a look at Ardent Flame. Now, under Ardent Flame, we have the Standard of Might. This is the ultimate I'm running with right now. It's actually called the Dragonknight Standard, but I have morphed it. This is by far the best ultimate you can be using with this build. It does a lot of damage. It's going to heal you. It's got very good synergy if you're in a group. And overall, if you have your ultimate, it's going to make an encounter much faster and much easier. I would suggest this no matter what if you're looking for this kind of build. The other two ultimates aren't bad. Dragon Leap isn't terrible. Magma Armor is okay if you're looking to be a tank, but by far, Dragonknight Standard is the way to go, morphed into Standard of Might. Next up, we have got Engulfing Flames that I'm running on this bar. Now, this is actually called Fiery Breath, but I have morphed it into Engulfing Flames, just recently actually. Fiery Breath is a good kind of area of effect. Fire Breathe, I'll show you guys what it looks like here. And it hits all targets in a frontal cone like that, and it puts a very powerful burn on them as well as doing some initial damage. I've also got it morphed to increase the damage done by all kinds of fire. So this is really good, but the rest of the build obviously is a Pyromancer. It's just going to increase the damage of everything, and this is almost a must-have on the bar, I would say. Of course, we've got all passives. All the passives on this tree are really good. Increased damage of flame abilities, obviously. Damaging abilities reduces their movement speed, and then that increases the duration of all of the moves that I'm using. So the Dragonknight Standard and the Engulfing Flames are two very good moves to run. I have Fiery Grip off the bar now because it kind of defeats the purpose of the build. I was just using it to level all the way up to get Fiery Breath. Next in Draconic Power, we've got another move. We've got Burning Talons, which was here last time. These are a great snare that can be used on groups of enemies to keep them frozen in place while you use other various fiery moves on them. It's very good CC, and it's going to save you more often than not from getting beat down by melee players. Allies can also use a synergy move with it. I've got it morphed like that. So this is a great move. Destructive Reach or Destructive Touch will break the Talons, but they're just going to put people farther away from you, so it's not a huge deal. It's great to use if many mobs are coming towards you, or even if one is coming towards you. Most bosses are immune to it, but it's great for leveling because you're working with a lot of lower class enemies. I haven't really got any passes in here yet because they're not as important to me. Block, I don't really need block, obviously. Healing increased with Draconic Power. That's not bad, but I only have one slotted, and I'm not being healed typically. And then Elder Dragon is pretty good. I just haven't gotten around to putting points into it yet. Next, we're going to take a look at Earthen Heart. I've got one move in here under Earthen Heart, and it is a very important one. This is Igneous Weapons. I can't quite remember what it's called before I morphed it because I've had it for a while, but basically what this does is it charges your weapon to do an insane amount more of heavy attack damage, as you can see there, 41%, and that is quite a bit. That's even enough to take down specific mobs in 2 or 3 heavy attacks, so you don't even have to use anything else. It's also very, very good if you're out of magicka, obviously. You can spam this while your magicka regens. Also, I've got it morphed now, so each heavy attack adds a second to the effect's duration, and it's already 10 seconds long. So this is a very, very good move. I would highly suggest this for any kind of build like this. Even if you're a melee Dragon Knight, Igneous Weapons is a great way to go. The rest of the other moves on this tree are kind of for tanking. Ash Cloud's pretty good. Obviously, I can't get it yet. Obsidian Shield is pretty good. But really, I think this is the only one you really want to pay attention to. The passes are also great under this tree. This increases further duration. Obviously, that's great for us. We have up to 10 seconds now with it. And then Battle Roar, increases your restoration with health, magicka, and stamina. So this really is one of the most important moves on the tree, as I'll show you guys with the rotation. Igneous Weapons comes in handy almost all the time, especially if you're too lazy to use anything else. It's great just to spam heavy attacks and tear people down. Next, let's take a look at Destruction Staff. Now, this is almost exactly the same as last time. We're rocking Destructive Touch, morph to Destructive Reach. This just like almost doubles the range of it. It's great. It knocks people back when you have the flame version of it with the Fire Staff. So it's great for keeping people away from you. It does a lot of damage, and it's also a very good spam if anything else is up or if anything is immune to the other moves you have on your tree. Next, we have Wall of Elements, which I've morphed to Unstable. So it explodes. It's a great AoE to lay this down and then throw someone into your Burning Talons and use Fiery Breath on them and just beat them to a pulp and make them unable to touch you. It's very frustrating, especially in PvP situations. So these two moves work great together, and they're going to stay on the bar permanently. I think these are both very great moves for AoE or single target. Passes we got here, all passes, Tri-Focus, Penetrating Magic, just a lot of things to increase your spell damage, increase burn effects, reduce time for heavy attack. That works well with igneous weapons, things like that. All these passes are great, so pick everything up that you can. Light Armor, pretty self-explanatory. Grab all passes is going to help with magical regen, magical cost, things like that. I really don't need to get too much into that. It's pretty self-explanatory. Once we get down a ways, I'll show you guys what I've done with my crafting. Obviously, all bread and passives are great. Now, crafting my own gear, I have to put some skill points into trees like this, as well as leveling up the professions themselves. Now, I've got a point into tailoring here, so I can make this higher level 20 gear, and I've got a point into unraveling, just so I have a higher chance of getting more ingredients, because those are great to have where I'm currently at the level I'm at. They're kind of hard to come by, and they're expensive. Under enchanting, I've got potency improvement. I need that. Into hireling, just to get some runes, because those are also kind of hard to come by sometimes. And then under woodworking, I've got the exact same deal, just so I can make higher level gear. So really, that's about it with all of the skill trees here. Keep in mind, I've picked up every Skyshard that I've could. I've done every group dungeon that I've could. I've done all Harborage quests, so I have as many skill points as possible right now. As you can see, I'm really close to dinging level 21, actually. So really, if you've done everything you can, you should be able to replicate this build or put your own twist on it and do what you want with it. But this is working out very, very well for me as it stands right now. So now let's take a look at this in action. I know last video I didn't really show you guys how exactly to operate the build. I talked about it a little bit, but basically we want to keep people away from us, as I said 18 times last time. So let's take a look at this here. Basically, the rotation is as follows. You're going to lay down your Wall of Elements. You're going to throw down your talons so they can't touch you. You're going to breathe Fiery Breath on them. You're going to use Destructive Reach until you are too low on Magicka. Then you're going to use Igneous Weapons and spam heavy attacks as your Magicka comes back up. It is absolutely fantastic. It's very, very good on single target, and it works very well with multiple targets as well, especially if you have your Dragonknight standard up. So just give me a minute here. I'm going to find some more ads to take down, and I will show you guys exactly how good this build is. Alright everyone, we are now over here at this Orcish camp in Deshen, in the southwestern part of Deshen, I suppose it is. And we're going to take down some mobs, and I'm going to show you guys what's going on. So as I explained a few moments ago, this almost does too much damage on low-level ads for me to demonstrate the process of the rotation. So I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm actually going to get up to a boss up here once we reach the top of the area. But we're going to throw down Wall of Elements. Sometimes Burning Talons will just lag like that, and it's just not going to work. It kind of sucks, but most of the time it's going to be very effective, especially against melee. This build is getting so good against melee enemies, I really don't take any damage at all. So it's honestly kind of cheating. Even against ranged, it's great. And I would say it is good against up to any number of enemies, just because you can keep as many people as you want in your talons. I think it can probably hold up to 5 or 6 people, and then you can individually spam Destructive Reach on people like this in order to keep them away, and it's just really, really good. I'm having a lot of fun with this build. Here I'll show some Igneous Weapons, how much power this does. I've got 2 shots on that guy and 2 shots on that guy, just with my heavy attack with Igneous Weapons here. Of course, the duration is also staying up because I'm using it again and again, and I've got those good passives. So highly, highly suggest all of the moves I have on this bar. It's working out really well for me. I think this update is going to be the one with the most... Oh, there's my level up right there. I think this update is going to be the one with the most changes. Level 30, probably not a lot's going to change except for maybe a bunch of passives and some more fine-tuning. But the skills will probably stay the same, just because I really like how they're working. I like how I can stay alive most of the time and keep people away from me 99% of the time. The Magicka, I have quite a bit of that, so that's not a problem at all. Here's 3 enemies I'll show you guys. We're going to entangle them all, breathe fire on all of them, and really you can just let them work down from there. of course you can just use your other moves as well, because we have so much magicka. But once I get up here to this top of this hill, I'm going to show you guys this boss fight, and I'll show off the ultimate a little bit, and we'll say a couple more things before I get out of here. Alright everyone, so we are now here to challenge Grisnak the Impatient, and we're going to show off exactly what's going on with this build. I'm going to use the full force of it, and we'll see how fast we can burn him down pretty quickly. He's not even standing a chance, and he's dead. Really, I would say this build can solo just about anything. I'm not even having that much problem with world bosses as long as you can kite correctly. The talons do not work on world bosses, but destructive reach knockback does. So if you can focus on that and continue to kite the boss away from you, really you can solo just about anything. I'm not talking dungeons or anything, of course, but anything up to that point you can usually handle by yourself. So be confident with this build. Know that you can tear them down. You're doing an insane amount of damage, and have a lot of fun. Alright, so I want to thank you all for watching. I hope this video was informative. I hope you're liking all of these different kinds of guides we're making for Elder Scrolls Online. I'm trying to do as many as I can, thinking of different ideas to help you all out. I consider die guides, but I figured that only works for one single faction, and it would be too complicated, but maybe later on in the future with some of the very difficult ones. But as far as that goes, we're going to continue doing what we're doing with all of these ESO videos. So I hope you're liking them all. I hope you're liking these builds. I hope you're trying out your own or trying out this one. If anyone has anything cool that they've got going, you can certainly let me know down in the comments. And I will check in with you guys next time. So thanks again for watching. This has been Furgie, and we will see you all next time on Elder Scrolls Online.